Was the ethnic cleansing that literally gave rise to the word genocide. And at this hour, the Holocaust is being remembered at a solemn ceremony at the state capitol. And that is where we find our Seth Kaplan. He joins us live in Harrisburg with that. Good afternoon to you, Seth.
Good afternoon, James. Yeah, it's called Yom HaShoah. In Hebrew, that translates literally into Day of the Holocaust, Holocaust Day, often called Holocaust Remembrance Day. And remembering is exactly what leaders have been doing here today. During World War II, the Nazis murdered 6 million Jews. Governor Josh Shapiro is Jewish. He was joined in a solemn ceremony by leaders from both political parties and different religions.
The task of remembering, of never allowing ourselves to forget, requires us to stand up and to speak out, to be proud of who we are, to be proud of the collective, because we all share the responsibility to confront that bigotry head on.
Back home in York County, we saw yet another Tikkun Olam in the community's response to the horrific attacks and atrocities of October 7th.
State Senator Kristen Phillips Hill, they're using the word tikkun olam. That's another Hebrew word, means to fix the world, and that was kind of a theme there. What do you do going forward to fix things? Obviously, there's a lot that's broken in the world right now. I mentioned the Nazis murdered 6 million Jews. They also murdered 5 million other people, members of religious minorities, ethnic minorities, people just because they were gay, all kinds of other things where everybody now thinks about that as the event that indeed led to the word genocide. We hear that word used nowadays, and it has been used in other contexts too, but it was the Holocaust where folks back then said, well, what do you call this? Nothing like that had ever been seen before, and that's where that word came from. The mantras, James, of Yom HaShoah and of Holocaust remembrance in general: never again, never forget. And you heard that a lot at that ceremony here this morning, folks saying, that's what you can do, is take those lessons, and anytime you see injustice anywhere, use that as a reminder that everybody has to speak up against it. And that's exactly what folks were doing here this morning.
And Seth, clearly a very emotional ceremony. We heard some of the people who were speaking there from your interviews that you just played for us talk about what's happening now in comparison to what happened during the Holocaust. Did it allow them to try to make that kind of connection?
Yeah, some of them did, and you can imagine they're trying to use this as a platform for reconciliation, right? And so even with what's going on in the world right now, I think most reasonable people agree that what happened on October 7th was terrible. We see now, though, on college campuses and elsewhere, there's division in terms of, what do you do next? There's division in terms of Israel's response, but this very much a platform for saying, hey, the reason Israel exists is because of the Holocaust, because 6 million Jews were murdered, and so they're sort of not getting too much into the details of the rest of it, just trying to say, hey, this is what should bring people together.
Gotcha. All right, Seth Kaplan live there at the state capitol in Harrisburg. Thank you very much for that. Meanwhile, another emotional ceremony in Harrisburg held for victims of the Holocaust. Dozens gathered yesterday at Harrisburg's Jewish Community Center to honor the 6 million Jews who died during World War II. A third-generation Holocaust survivor spoke. She says this is about remembering history and keeping the memory of those who died alive.
To me, this is wound into my DNA. Two of my grandparents were survivors. And my father was born as the son of survivors in Europe and emigrated to the United States as a toddler. So it's very much my family legacy to carry this on and to honor my grandparents and my late father by speaking about the history so that it's not forgotten.
Speakers and students who attended also urged schools everywhere to better educate students about the Holocaust.